keep having the conversation. We're going now, but
that's just more reason for me to say bye and leave.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is like you can still have the conversation. You just know that now you're on camera if you happen to be over here, and so that's fine.
Well, I don't need to share with everybody how much I dislike my new glasses.
I mean, why not?
Well, I will share with everybody that I think they're pretty cool.
Okay.
So I'm just laying that out there.
Well, hey, there we are.
All right then.
So
you can actually see on your phone.
Yeah, I can see us on our phone.
Langception.
Hey.
You can see you seeing you on your phone.
Yes. Hey. Okay. So yeah, we tried once again to schedule last week, and it was an absolute disaster because it just didn't work. So we were like, started 16 minutes late. So it's just such a delight that like I press the button and we're on.
Amazing. Yay. The technology is working as intended.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know what to do with that.
Yeah.
All right. Have fun, guys.
All right. See ya.
Thank you. Okay, so I also just realized, hello everyone, by the way, but I just realized I didn't even have the grammar open. I was so concerned with the poll results that's all I was focusing on.
Wait, what was that you said? You were asking what shirt I'm wearing? Oh, sure, let me tell you. You might think, is this the California flag? But no, it says California Republic. Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
That's one of my favorite shirts. But I forgot about it for a while.
Even better that is not at all what I said.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Johan, see, that's one of the things that's so wonderful about scheduling these darn streams. Because then we don't start off with one person there. Because, like, you don't have to wait for it to show up. It's so lame. It is so ridiculous. And yet that's what we're stuck with. The thing is supposed to work. That's what things are supposed to do. They're supposed to work. Anyway.
I need to have Will call YouTube and complain so that way something gets done about it.
Yes, because he's the demographic.
Yes.
They're like, if anybody at YouTube knows that this stream is happening, they probably just share it to chuckle at us, and make fun of us. Look at these olds. Look at what they're doing.
We're not old yet, David.
No.
We at least have 6 months.
Yeah, not for a few months. I mean, I have fewer months than you do, youngster.
That's right, because I am the younger one.
Yes. Quite a bit. I mean, everybody can tell.
Those 5 months make a magical difference.
That youthful exuberance of yours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That will disappear 5 months after yours.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't want to be where I'm at right now. I'm just warning you.
Okay, so that means March is going to be bad for me. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. March is the cruelest month. Okay. Okay, so what are we doing? Oh! Poll!
Yeah, so I'm...
That's my crow.
Which is what I had said. I was so concerned with making sure I had those results pulled up that I completely forgot to even open our grammar until we were already talking on the air.
Okay.
But our last poll was focusing specifically on some of those final sounds, specifically on the fricatives. And I think David has the options pulled up, maybe. Weren't there 3 sets of options on there? Am I not seeing them?
Yeah, sorry. I just realized I was looking at something wrong there. But
because
anyway.
We should have no change where the fricatives. Can we do a redo?
Yeah, don't worry. We edit this. We edit this every week, so we'll just edit this out.
Edit out the freak-wicatives, please. Oh my word, This day is going so well. Okay, so one option was for the weak fricatives,
otherwise known as,
to have no change. And that one lost. That was 3rd place. People didn't want that. They're like, bring on the change. The second option I'm going to mention was annihilation. Mm-hmm. Where a final H is lost, resulting in vowels and word final stress. That one also did not win. It had more votes, but still 2nd place.
It's kind of a
and
shame.
Really an overwhelming amount of votes was for the second one, the debuccalization, with the word final weak fricatives reducing to H, producing a merger, and then a minimal pair with length with word final with the R sound.
Okay.
And so that option by far was preferred.
Okay, so we are going to go ahead and write that down somewhere. Let's see. Do we have our lengthening rule yet? Long vowel quality changes. Yes, we do. Vowels lengthen before voice coda, so it's got to be after that, right? Yes. Okay. So yes, it's going to be some point in time after that. So beep beep. This is
Yes, we're gonna, because some vowels are lost, because the examples were like not becoming knah. Knah.
Yeah, knah. That's a good one. C plus continuant minus strident. Is that what we decided the feature was?
Oh, for the strong ones, for
Yeah.
the non-sibilant ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think strident is the right feature.
Debuccalization has the prettiest name.
Really,
I
mean,
what? Do you think
it's fun.
Use your English brain and think the word debuccalization. Does that trigger pretty to you in your head?
You know, it does trigger pretty. I
Okay.
love the word orchestral.
I actually like the word spearmint.
Oh, that is nice.
No, it's spearmint, not straight.
Nice.
We're gonna call that plus glottal at the end of a word, and then also C plus rhotic goes to plus glottal minus voice at the end of a word. Okay, so frequicatives become H at the end of a word separately, though the result is the same. The phoneme, I don't even know how to say that one. You know what I mean?
I like how you did it, though.
How do we say
good.
that R?
I just want to say, okay, because we had, Logan is saying, stop saying buckle, it's not debuccalization. However, I'm looking at the definition right now, and that is totally an option. Debuccalization is the first pronunciation given, in fact, and debuccalization is the second pronunciation given. And so I just want to point out that buckle is an option for how to say it.
Hey, Karis, it does have that distinction for the moment.
For the moment.
Don't you worry about that. Anyway, how else are you supposed to say it? Is Logan over here saying debuccalization?
I think it was with the debuccalization. Because that's the other pronunciation.
Oh my gosh.
It's another
my stars
pronunciation,
and
though. I'm
garters.
just saying, I'm looking at both. I just had to make sure I wasn't wrong, because you guys know how often I just say words and assume I'm right.
Hold on a sec.
And then find out.
We've got to have another word here. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna start this ahead of the notes. We're gonna call this. Call this New English. Frequicatives.
I missed that you had typed frequicatives.
I mean, it's a part of the New English. There we go.
Exactly.
2 words is pretty good. We'll keep it going.
Yes. New English.
Yeah.
Amen.
Hey, I want to ask you about 2 things related to linguistics papers. Number 1, have you ever seen IFF written?
Oh, if and only if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the? So it's like the first time I saw that, of course, I thought it was a typo. And then
Ah.
somebody was all like, oh, no, 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 that means if and only if. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
So I mean, like, I wouldn't write it myself in prose because to me it's something I would only use in formal logic, but like I know what it means.
I've seen it a lot in linguistics papers, like, just phonology papers.
Yeah.
Syntax papers, too, yeah. So there was that one. And then the other one, have you seen the word worder?
Oh, for word order?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like, it just gets used in linguistics papers like, oh, yeah, you can just do that.
That one, like, I'm pretty sure that one started off as a typo, and then they're like, yeah, let's do it.
But, like, they really do it.
Yes, they do. But, like, I'm pretty sure it just started off as a worder, oops, and then, hey, I'm going to make it happen.
Okay, so Dargo is saying so and way. So, what is that? Significant others other?
Well, that seems like not something you would love. See, Razia, I agree, because I know what IFF is, but yeah, it's so weird to me that linguists would like jump on board with that just to use in prose.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. It seemed like, especially because, papers are all formal and everything, and then you just see that there. I'm like, didn't think you could do that. Okay, so we have that sound change in place. And the reason that we were doing this is because we wanted to see what happened to everything at the end of a syllable. Does this mean that we now have that?
That we now have what? Sorry?
All the consonants at the end of a syllable. Do we now?
I believe so, because those were the only ones that we were deciding between. And then you got the one right with the R causes lengthening and then it goes to H. Yeah, yes. I see that. Okay, yeah.
Yes, but you know what I also need to do? I need to talk about devoicing. I don't think that we wrote that one down, and so I want to be sure that it gets... Okay, so... Okay.
Kyrus thinks significant with two S's up front should be a word for statistically significant.
Ooh. I like that.
I have to say, like, I am now, because of my dissertation writing process, like, and I used a lot of quantified data, but because it wasn't based on a statistical model, I couldn't use the word significant at all. And I still avoid using that adjective when I'm writing in linguistics, if at all possible.
This is my other.
When in linguistics papers do you write about significant other?
No. It's just when introducing your husband. This is my other.
I'm not afraid to use it in speech.
Oh, really? Oh. How progressive of you. Okay.
Ha. And hi, Cold Fire. I'm glad you're liking the language so far.
Oh, Cold Fire. Good to see you again. And I said Cold Fire. I didn't say Cold Flyer. Nobody said that. Word final devoicing. Okay. C.
Just like I didn't hear anything about frequicatives.
See, minus nasal becomes minus voice at the end of a word. Voiced non-nasal segments. Devoice at the end of a word. This results in a retroflex lateral fricative for which we have no symbol. No, wait, that shouldn't be a parenthetical comment. My apologies. For which we have no symbol. Consequently, we shall use. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
I mean, I trust you. I don't
Not for
have
that.
worries.
Not for that. Okay, but this sound change, word final devoicing, is going to come before this sound change. It also results in a voiceless rhotic. And then, hold on, we need to do this. R, good. And then we need the little circle above because it can't fit below.
So as you're figuring that out, by the way, there has been a suggestion over in live chat to call consonant clusters either consters or clunsters. And I've put them both in the New English notes.
Consonant clunsters.
Make it all happen.
Yeah. Okay, so plus continuant minus strident. Yeah, so this, we don't need this part of it anymore. Because now, essentially, we do have something that is plus continuant and minus strident. Yeah. So, that's fine.
I think you got it, right?
Yeah. By the way, we could have a new show. The Clunsters. It's like the Munsters, but it's about huge, freaky consonant clusters that nevertheless have a normal, well-adjusted family.
But you know.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Yeah. Then a bunch of CV. They live next door to a couple of CV syllables. You know. Like, you clunsters! You're so bizarre!
Oh my gosh. That is great.
Okay, so we've got our clunsters, except they're not clunsters. No, this is consonants appearing at the end of a word, and we're not having consonant clusters at the end of the word, at least not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Let's just say yet, because I'm kind of hoping it happens.
Yeah, it may. It may. Knat knap. It's like catnap, but it's knat knap.
Nice.
Sorry. All right. Okay, so I am good with all of this. I am good with all of that. I assume that this was in red because we were going to talk about it today.
Yes, because we had not yet discussed what happens when vowels end a word.
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's why it was in red.
Yes. Okay. So, this was raising. That's what's happening here. Is raising is happening here. I see here that there is not palatalization, which leads me to another question that should be answered down here. This. Here we had ke raising to k, leading to palatalization.
But only if it raised.
Yes, but on the other hand, here the is raising, but we don't have palatalization. I don't think that we can have both of those at the same time. Either they both need to palatalize or they both need to not. The only or only the central vowel palatalizes and then the front vowel does not, the E does not, but that doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense, does it?
And also, I mean, like the line right above it, we clearly have the E palatalizing.
Yes.
Now, of course, we could decide to take that back, but I'm with you that with the amount of palatalization going on, with it spreading with consonant clusters and things like that, I'm on board with it causing palatalization.
There is one way that it could happen. Oh, right. Oh, and here, look at that. That one's not causing palatalization.
No. Okay, so now here's another question. Was this just we were quickly typing these notes last time and weren't fully thinking through and we need to fix these and that's why they're in red because we ran out of time?
That's a good question. Let's go to a replay.
So, whoever has that file.
Replay guy is terrible. I shouldn't say that on the air, but it's true. So okay, here are options as I see them. Scenario 1, because we obviously want to have palatalization happen, so we're gonna ride or die with that. Scenario 1 is everything palatalizes. So that means word final that be we'll say here we had this at the end of the word, that's going to become that. This is going to become that. And
someone was asking about why the central E vowel would palatalize, and it's really based on where it's pronounced, because it's actually pronounced in the middle of your tongue directly underneath your palate. And so it makes sense that if you have an N in front of E and the language is prone to matching in location that way, that it would palatalize the N as well.
Yeah, we had it palatalizing only when it disappeared, because basically the duration shortened, which caused it to be like, you know, your tongue is trying to hit it quick, and that basically turned it into the palatal. I liked it. I don't hate the question though. Keeping us honest. And plus, you know, sometimes you do things and you just do them. Right now we're sticking with it, but nothing is settled until it's settled. Okay.
Jonathan says that palatal consonants are the central vowels of consonants.
Okay, so that's everything palatalizes. Okay, the next one, palatalization happens first, then raising.
Okay.
So the result of that is yeah, and then it's scenario 3 is kind of agnostic to the question, but the barred eye only palatalizes between consonants.
Okay.
And so that means this becomes N, as we have it above, and then Y. So with the idea with that, the idea behind palatalization happening first and then raising is that all our palatalization stuff just happens, and then we still have a stage where we're getting kanana and kanana at the end of a word. A later change causes those to polarize, so that becomes E and becomes and so for that reason, if it happens after the palatalization, you will end up with kanani at the end of a word without palatalization. To kind of mix things up.
I think it's just such like a weird thing to have kanani and then like everywhere else it would be kanani. For some reason that just delights me.
All right.
Just to have like a random possibility for kanani.
I love it. Jesse likes it.
And Evan, we talked about the polls. We wrote a couple rules for consonant changes, and now we're working on vowels. Oh, yeah. Johan already answered you. Excellent.
Also, for Evan, we're creating some new words for English, so just commit those to memory. They're a part of our language now. Frequicatives is my favorite still. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
All right, let's write our Portuguese polarization rule now, as I remember it.
Is that what you're going to call it?
No, but it's what I think of in my head whenever I have word final vowel polarization, um, which is what I'm going to call it.
I like it.
Okay, so V minus low goes to plus high. Word final position. Word final and become E and oo.
Respectively.
Yes, I was getting ready for that and I accidentally hit the tab. Respectively in word final position.
I feel like by now you should have a shortcut on the keyboard for the word respectively.
Yeah, that would be nice. But you can set up those types of things in in Apple, right? Like
I've actually done some. And so I feel like you need respectively.
There was this wonderful joke where a teenager edited his mother's phone so that anytime she typed the word laundry, it auto replaced with the entire text of James Joyce's Ulysses.
Okay, well that would not be so useful, but that is great. Okay, so for the people in the chat asking about frequicatives, it's because when I was trying to give the results of the poll, I needed to say weak fricatives, but instead I had a spoonerism moment and said freak wicketives, which when said quickly sounds like frequicatives.
Yeah, or
it was a moment.
Or freak wicketives, as if you're insulting a certain type of wicketive, but
exactly.
Yeah, but honestly, the more that we do it, the more that weak fricative sounds like a mispronunciation of frequicative to me.
I think, yeah. I think that's just gonna be the thing.
Okay, so we have that. Do we already have palatalized consonants become fully palatalized? Okay, I see.
We did the palatalization rule already, right?
When the vowel is unstressed, and obviously when there's a consonant before it, consonants also palatalized. Okay. Okay, so we have our N, E, but I think that based on what we have in our rules, it makes sense to me that that the losing actually does cause palatalization. I think that's the way it should be. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Is that copagesic?
Yes. Or should I say Jess?
Jess.
And apparently Evan says that Matses, a language, M-A-T-S-E-S, has our starting vowel inventory.
Oh, that's nice. Can you drop a link in there? I'd love to take a look at that.
And Jonathan says that the T in our logo reminds him of the Hebrew letter. The little...
What's the T in our logo look like?
It's just this side of the T and it comes down.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you looking at the YouTube video? Oh, clearly logo branded all over.
No, I don't see it. Like, I'm serious.
You don't see it? Or...
No. Here. You can actually see what I'm looking at. See?
How do I have a logo on my screen?
I don't know. Maybe, could it be that I'm logged in as me and I'm not logged in as LangTime Studio?
No, it's actually overlaid on the video.
Yeah, I made it do that on purpose for branding, but I can't see it. It's not showing it to me.
Okay, well, I see it. I want you to know I see it.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
I wanted to write something in the chat, but I couldn't think of anything to write, so just going to say...
And yes, there is a T in the logo because
I
it's
love
L, S, and T, so LTS for LangTime Studio. Oh, that's very nice.
I thought so. Okay. All right. So then, this is our current state. We can delete that. We can delete this. So this is what currently all words that look like this is what they're going to look like. So we got some long vowels at the end of words, ending with many different consonants, all of them voiced except for the nasals. And then we have a distinction between kanan with a long vowel and kanan with a short vowel. We have kanani, kanany, kanana, kanana, kanani, kanana. So we have kanani versus kanani. That's awesome. We also have kanani.
Right.
Kanani, which is amazing. And kanan, kanan, wonderful. Kanana, very simple. And then two kananas. Two kananas.
Like, it's really cracking me up because like we haven't worked with any other, one syllable words yet, really, except for these kanan forms. And it's just really cracking me up because it makes it look like the language is going to be all knak, knap, knas, knas, knan. And it's like these may not even be a word in the language.
Yeah. What word we can actually have is patak. Like in Klingon, I don't even remember if that's a real one or if they made it up on the Next Generation. But the Klingon insult, patak.
No, I didn't. So now I do.
Yeah, so we can have that. It feels like they probably made it up on the show because it ends with a K and Klingon doesn't have a K. But unless it's supposed to be a Q, patak. I don't remember. Somebody know Klingon? Did you write the final weak vowel loss? No. But let's take a quick little gander because I think it's already taken care of. Okay, weak vowel migration. Vowels become respectively an unstressed position outside of the very first segment of the word. Outside of the very first segment of the word, and the an unstressed position. And okay, I should just make this clear in words since it's clear up there. And before the main stress.
Was that in the first? Yeah, the first one. Okay.
I'm going to throw in a comma there instead before the main stress. I want to, because I thought that one of our other rules was going to take care of that. The vowel becomes palatalization on the previous consonant when the vowel is unstressed. So that takes care of that. Because this is not with respect to the main stress of the word either before or afterwards. So this takes care of word final. Now let's talk about word final schwa. Loss of weak vowels. The vowels disappear before the main stress when not secondarily stressed. I think that it's just got to be a separate rule.
Does that kind of hurt?
It does. It does. So let's revisit.
Because the schwa is the only one completely disappearing, right?
No. Well. You mean without leaving a trace? Yes.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Because the is leaving the palatal trace on the consonant before it.
Yes. So, what do we think about that? We've got all of these other words, and then we have this one with schwa, and we feel like we really want to get rid of it because it's a mid-vowel at the end of the word, an unstressed position. It feels like it should be gotten rid of, but in order to get rid of it, we're going to have to write a special rule for it.
Yeah. What if it lowers to ah? So kanana becomes kanana.
Certainly could.
But that would still need a separate rule. It wouldn't. Everything else is raising. So that
Yeah, and if you had that type of a rule, you would want to write it with respect to some sort of general principle, and
right.
You think it would be like all non-high vowels, which would take an along with it.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to have just a special rule for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dark Horse, it doesn't really make sense to move the schwa to after the K, because that again would require like a big extra rule. Yeah, David says make it a copy vowel. I think that's why I was kind of thinking that, but that too requires a rule, and then to say why only the schwa gets a copy vowel and nothing else does. And Jasmine says, but schwas are weird enough that they get their own rules, and that's okay.
I like Jasmine, or as I call her, the enabler. Let's see.
So in that case, it could just get a schwa deletion.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did...
I feel like there's like a secret project going on in the background. You can only hear slight whispers and then like something being moved around. It feels like there's something fun going down.
Meridian just went charging off somewhere. She's been...
See, something's going down that's fun.
She's been in high spirits today, which is good.
That is good.
Okay.
Tanguy asked if it would be possible to have a schwa metathesis with the schwa forming a diphthong with an A.
Doesn't feel like something that would happen in this language. It's certainly possible, but it doesn't feel like something that ought to happen here.
Oh, and Logan says Coptic read schwas with a diacritic. And then says in parentheses, well, probably there's a disagreement about how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Like them before those cars. Okay. That's where it needs to happen, right there. It needs to be a part of
after
this.
Rule number 6.
No.
Or before it.
No, somewhere here. Probably here.
Okay.
Loss of weak vowels. 2. Actually, I'm going to put it very last. Very last for right now.
Oh. Totally mispronounced. It's just a second, my nasal vowels need some work. Tangi. Because I was just reading it and I'm like, oh, Tanguy. But it's Tangi. Did I get the stress right?
Oh dear. Jasmine has brought up the specter of tundra nenates. What do you know about tundra nenates, Jesse?
I don't know about tundra nenates, so I need to look this up.
So there is, first of all, there are two. the main person who was writing on it says that there were 2 different glottal stops, and they sound different, but they don't.
And then
And yeah, there's like a little degree symbol that they use for schwa. Tundra nenates is amazing because it basically has completely unpredictable accusative case. And the only thing that you can say about it is that you know that the accusative case is going to be unpredictable. That's how you know it's the accusative. We studied that a lot when we were doing the graduate morphology with Farrell Ackerman, because it was a very nice example of why, you know, morpheme stuff is just silly. Okay. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, Okay, how do I not... Minus low, minus high. Goes to nothing at the end of a word. Word final.
Ooh. And as you're doing that, thank you to everyone who's providing IPA, so that way I at least have a better chance of saying it right, and I'll keep working on it until I do. So thank you, and make sure I get the stress right. I have to think about it first. Davide.
I'm still waiting to hear where Tongi's name comes from. Is it Portuguese or is it...
I don't know, but I'm so happy that Tanguy has a great attitude about mispronunciations. And thank you for pointing it out so that way I can get it right. Oh, so Tanguy is French, but it's a Breton name.
Oh, Breton. Does it still like obey the French stress rule, which is it's generally wherever you want, but probably at the end? So Tanguy?
I like that rule.
Oh yeah, French stress is amazing. It's all just based on feel and how the sentence is going. Oh, not the language. Oh jeez. If you've ever studied Breton, it's like it's a full-on Celtic language.
I guess I should ask, did you finish? You did finish the rule, and I just now saw what you typed for it, because I was focusing on the chat and trying to practice my pronunciations. And in case any of you were just listening to me and not paying attention to what David typed, I just want to read what our rule is. Word final schwa is dead. So if you missed that, like I did, that is rule number 11
That's how you gotta
of the
do
possum language.
Don't you think it would be an awesome show that people should pay us to do, where the two of us take a language class together? A language that neither of us has any background in?
That's our next podcast.
Wouldn't it be fun?
Right? I think it would be, and it would be hilarious because I would pronounce everything wrong. And I'd be trying, though. I'd be trying so hard. And David would be that student over there just looking at me, shaking his head. Oh.
And I would pronounce these things wrong, but they would sound so confident and fluid that, I could argue my way into a fancy party.
Oh, man.
All right. It looks like there's 13 rules now. That's actually, that's kind of a question. How many, what do we end up with Angela?
18.
19, 20, 21, 22.
22? I thought there were 18.
There are also 22.
Yes, we do need to make this podcast happen where we just learn things together, and you are your lovely smart-ass self.
Oh, David and Jesse learned cricket?
Oh my god. Please not to play, just to commentate.
Man, so I've been to India twice, and both times I was there during the World Cup for cricket. And both times it was when India was playing somebody. And both times they lost.
Wow. But I mean, we've recently talked about you watching high stakes games and maybe not do it.
Yeah, I know. You don't want me rooting for your team.
Oh, and I've also been saying, so Yuan.
Hey,
okay, cool.
Oh my god, hang on. Do you know who asked how many rules are there? That was Carl Beck. Conlanger Carl Beck. So, gosh, and I can't wait to talk about this, but Carl is my assistant on another show. It's the only show that I have an assistant on that I still can't talk about, but I don't know why. There's really no reason why we shouldn't be able to, but so that's why you haven't heard anything about it.
You don't get to make the decision.
I know. No, you're right. Anyway, but let me tell you, when we can talk about that, it will be very, very, very exciting. For a couple of different reasons. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, so yeah. Okay, what are we doing? Cricket.
But that is very exciting because I think I had seen C. Buck and didn't put it together that was Carl. I don't know why. It's just I don't have a whole name in front of me, so I didn't make that connection. So hello.
That actually, by the way, that could be a word, right? Kabuk.
It could be.
Kabuk.
Yes.
That's what we should do next.
Except wouldn't the be lost, and would it be kabuk?
Well, let's. It seems like we've got a pretty good handle on this for right now, and we're probably fine with the two kananas. So let's just leave it at that. Let's talk about some more internal stuff next, because that's what we need to do. We decided not to do this, right?
Which one? I got sidetracked.
I've just highlighted the stuff beneath the
Oh,
red.
the highlighted. That does not look like something we're doing. Now, the second one, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, let's keep that second one in there. I don't know what...
Because we haven't talked about what happens when we start adding things behind vowels that would otherwise disappear. However, this one relies on that
okay.
one you just deleted.
That's okay. We're going to make it correct. There we go.
Okay. So yeah, so that needs to, I'm going to add actually a little, what happens with potential suffixes?
Yeah.
I think we need suffixes.
My issue is that these are very long.
Because it's not losing enough. Oh, wait. Oh, because, wait. I remember adding the S pulls the stress to the end. And if we kept secondary stress on the front, that would mean that we would keep the vowel when we add something to the end. And my argument was maybe we shouldn't have that secondary stress assignment because we want to lean into the crazy consonant clusters. And so my argument was that we should not have that secondary stress in place in that way.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're right. We're just going to get a bunch of CV every time we start adding consonants.
Okay. Then I think that suggestion is very, it's well taken. I don't want to deal with it yet, so let's keep that there.
I was waiting for it's very well taken and now has been denied. I was waiting for the other half.
Man, I work with publishers like that. That's a great idea. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with our idea.
But we're going to throw it on the floor and step on it.
Okay, but since I just at least want to write this down and maybe we can decide what we want to deal with. What happens with alternate voicing? And so what we're looking at is something like this. Because, yeah, so something like that. Let's do it the other way. Something like that. How about and then let's start with a fricative. We could also probably throw a weak fricative in there, but I'm guessing that the weak fricative is just going to voice or something, right? So and then all right. So what would you like to work on right now? These potential stress thingies or the mismatch in voicing?
Mismatch in voicing.
Okay. Ooh, mismatched. It's kind of mysterious sounding.
It is.
What about fricative clusters? Those are usually easier, but let's throw in because they usually just become actually.
And Evan reminds you that it's a fricative, not a weak fricative.
Indeed, that was just a mispronunciation. It happens a lot, you know. Pressure of the live stream. Sometimes you say weak fricative instead of fricative. It's weird.
It's just happens.
Right. You know what? I should do another. Okay, so I have a couple of different languages where I have consonant ch clusters like all the time. So like you have tan versus tran. I do those kind of things all the time. So you could have zan versus zan. No, you couldn't, could you? Zran. Yeah, with voice.
Whew.
Anyway.
I mean, sure, you could have it. The question is, will I ever be able to pronounce it alongside you?
You just allow the back of your tongue to drag as you're saying it. So like, think about like your last name, Sams. Instead of saying Sams, just say Slams. You just allow the back of your tongue to drag. You pick it up as you're saying the whole thing.
I love how you make it sound so easy. I have to give orders. Just a second.
Yeah. See?
Slams. Slams.
See? Like, once you get the hang of it, it's not that big a deal.
Oh, my goodness.
Now let's do the other one, too.
As a side note, when I lived in Germany, I struggled really hard with the E vowel, right? Like, It was very obvious every time I spoke with a word with that in it that I was not only not German, but probably American. And so I had this group of friends took me one day out for lunch just to like practice that noise. And so we were sitting at a table in the corner of a restaurant just over and over. E, like just over and over and over again. And it's still not perfect, but it's better than it was. But yeah, so like my pronunciation woes have gone back, in fact, all the way to my childhood days when a speech therapist had to work with me so that I could actually speak English.
Oh. So let me tell you about a random thing. Okay, third grade, one of my very, very best friends, he was the one that actually performed our wedding. He would have a thing where he had a special folder and he would need to go to speech. And I was so jealous. I'm like, what is this special, awesome, extra thing that you get to do that I don't get to do? That it's like only like a certain select group of people,
Yes.
We were already in a gifted class, but this seemed like something that was like even more selective. And I was like, oh, why was I not invited? Why am I not getting to do this thing? Didn't understand.
You're not as special as us.
Yep. He is actually the friend who rather consistently, maybe a little bit inconsistent now, would pronounce uvulars instead of velars.
Oh.
Just all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just a particular thing that he did. So, I don't know.
Like even with like K
soccer.
and G or things?
Yeah, soccer.
Wow.
Golf.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, all right, we should get back on track. Thank you, Applesauce Project.
Yes.
So the question is, what's going to happen with all of these aberrant clusters? Is the voicing going to match? If it's going to match, what is it going to match to? Is this going to be progressive or regressive? And of course, it may actually pile on here as well, because if we start deleting more segments, we could get triple clusters and things like that. This, I want to say, is kind of a separate issue. This one I almost want to take out for the moment and start a separate one, which is what happens with Geminates. I understand that these are two different segments, but I mean, honestly, with an S and a Z, the voicing is definitely going to match.
Yeah.
And the question is, what do we do with these initial Geminates when they happen to occur? So that will be a separate one we deal with later. This one we can deal with now.
So when we have that palatalization spreading, it's spreading regressively.
And we had this issue last time. What does regressively mean?
Backwards.
Okay.
So the next sound is affecting the sound before it.
But doesn't it also spread progressively too? Or did we decide not?
In this one, have we done any
Hold on.
forward?
Yeah, because this is a progressive assimilation. Look at this one I have highlighted on page 7.
Oh, you do. Yes. So where was I seeing the other one that I swear I saw one that was going the other direction?
It might do both. That's the thing. The easiest way to tell is with something like this form. Putting it down here. Ka. So we have kanin, which is going to become kanyin, because we decided that it was going to happen before E. And so the question is, does kanyin stay, or does it become kinyin? Or, okay, so then that or...
Mm-hmm. I'm torn because I want there to be like a pattern that makes it kind of clear which way assimilation is going to be more likely working, so that way other clusters will behave in a similar fashion.
I'm trying to get something that's a little more difficult to pronounce, because that sometimes can help decide things. So, pinyin versus pinyin.
Can you say those last two again for me?
Pinyin versus pinyin.
Okay. And as we're staring at that, I need to plug in my trackpad. Otherwise, it's going to die and I will have no mouse function. So
yeah.
Excuse me while I get really close to the camera.
Megan, especially for this last one, yeah, it is hard to hear the difference.
Yes.
And the question is it hard enough to hear the difference that it effectively the whole thing just becomes palatal, or is it just that I am not very good at pronouncing it? Or it could just be that I am because here's the thing. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, like if I'm doing a good job, as good a job as you can do, and it's still very difficult to make a distinction, then, I mean, honestly, that argues for palatalization everywhere. Because often it's the acoustic characteristics of phrases that lead to sound changes more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Raziel says it's obvious to him. Dark Horse, that would sound like yin. Yin. Very different. Well, Raziel, thank you. That means I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm delighted.
That's nice. That's always nice to have that feedback. So then to hear it distinctly, then the question is, should it remain as two different segments? So should we have that distinction in the language?
Yeah. By the way these things are probably going to end up being romanized is...
Oh, that's kind of horrible. Yeah, exactly. When David's doing an evil laugh, you know that the romanization is just going to be horrible.
I mean, it's either, seriously, it's either that or, you know. Because seriously, how do you show a palatalized P? You got to do something.
You just have fun making a different symbol or something. Adding a little J after it. Oh, Raziel says use apostrophes.
No. Apostrophes are for adjectives, and that's it. Now, what Karis has done is wonderful, but I don't think that you could actually do it.
You don't think you could actually do it because it wouldn't be just like highly recognized what the tilde stands for?
Not only would it not be highly recognized, it would be confusing because usually that's for nasalization. But second, how do you put a tilde over a P? I mean, with a keystroke, you can't do that.
Does it let you? Oops.
I mean, you can do it with a combining diacritic.
No. Oh, yeah, no. Mac keyboards won't let you just do that.
No, of course not.
Without doing. All right.
Yeah, that's the problem, Ilona. I can't. It looks like it should be a vowel there, and it's not. That's one thing that's very difficult with those. But here's here's a romanization argument in favor of full palatalization. If we did full palatalization, you could just do this. Because there's no distinction.
Because no matter what, yeah, it'd be pronounced the same way. Well, honestly, though, if we're doing full palatalization, like at that point, I would be okay with, this segment.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Really just that one. I don't know why I retyped it. It's clearly already typed there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I generally use N with an Enya when like it's its own consonant and there's not a lot of other palatalization stuff happening. If there is, I like to make it so that it's systematic, so that if all the palatals have consonant Y, then all of them have consonant Y.
And Jason's like, hey, it doesn't really matter how you romanize it. What's going to matter is how the language handles it in its own writing system, and so that this is totally fine if we go that route. That's very true.
Yeah, that's also true. I haven't decided quite yet what to do with these vowels. I mean, I've been thinking about the orthography, yeah, and so I was thinking, like, would an abjad make sense? Because if you do that, then you just get rid of the central vowels entirely. But then if you do that, you have to have something there to indicate palatalization, because there was no vowel there to begin with. Anyway.
By the way, I'm trying the keystroke that note. Anime Fan says Control-Shift tilde and the letter, but it does not work on a Mac keyboard.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that works with...
That does not work. I've been over here, that's what I've been trying to do, all different combinations, and I was like, I'll try Control, I'll try Command, and it's not working.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, did you just type a whole row of...
I may have. I may have.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, the question shouldn't be about romanization. The question should be, should we keep this distinction? And if we keep the distinction, then we
It's
would
going to
keep it up
inform
here,
this
right?
one, right? Um, you know, Pinyin versus Pinyin. Um, though this one is going to sound a lot more distinct to English speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this thing would move forward, wouldn't it? Because it's got a palatal in front of it.
Right.
Pinyin, 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 Pinyin.
Logan says level all the things, homophones galore.
Hmm.
And I'm fine with leveling it to where it's all palatalized, right? Like that's not the issue. The issue then is what does that mean for us when we're trying to decide some sort of assimilation strategy for non-palatal consonant clusters.
Mm.
Um,
Right, that's
and
how we
so, I
got
mean,
here.
we could say that palatals are special and that palatalization spreads in all directions in a consonant cluster. But yeah.
I feel like they would have to have happened at different times. Um, the progressive assimilation, the forward palatalization, that's going to happen first.
Okay.
The backwards one would happen second. And if that's going to happen, if it's anticipatory palatalization, then it seems like it should be anticipatory voicing assimilation as well.
Okay. And
which by the way, is exactly what happened in Sudan.
Looking at our list then, what we would get is something like gbak instead of kpak for that first one where it's a KB coming together.
Yeah, where do we put
and
those?
And so we would voice it all.
Yeah, so it'd be gbak, gbak, tzak, tzak, zban, span, rban, pchan, tzchan, tzfan, shvan, and psan. I'm sorry, vzan, vzan.
Because it would keep the voice.
Yeah, vzan. It's kind of cool.
Okay, I mean, like for some reason, that's I think hard. For some reason, I just want to go the other direction, but I also think that that's just because English, and so.
Okay. All right, we're gonna do it now. Okay. So this means we're gonna do full palatalization assimilation, but I will say I did like it. I did like the distinction. I thought it was cool. But
I mean, if you want to keep it, then why not keep it, and we can have assimilation go in the other direction. And people are also on board with just killing all voiced consonants ever. Except for nasals, of course. We need to point that out.
Yeah.
If you like the distinction, I say let's keep it and then switch the order of assimilation.
I really don't like that, though.
Why don't you like that? That's what we've already done, right? Where it spreads forward?
No, I'm just saying we have to. You're right. That would happen. It would have to happen anyway. It would have to happen anyway for this one. Yes. Because of that.
And so with the forward spreading, then really that just means that instead of, KBAK, instead of it becoming all voiced up front, gbak, it would be all voiceless. kbak up front. But then GP would be voiced. Kbak.
Yeah. So it would be exactly backwards.
From everything you just read, yeah.
Yeah. The first one makes more sense to my brain, but the second one can work. You're right.
So Jasmine says the enabler agrees with Jesse on this one.
Okay. 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 All right. All right. So the distinction remains. Progressive assimilation. All of these things. So okay. This becomes back. This becomes back.
Ooh, I'll turn on my IPA keyboard and meet you somewhere in the middle. Although I'm slower at typing than you, I believe.
Fun.
Oh, interesting. What would for this last one, would that be the v?
Yep,
or
that's the one.
Okay.
That's the one.
I just wanted to make sure we wouldn't be moving it at all. It would just be.
Okay. So then.
Okay, I like that.
All right. Let me. I just want to jump down really quick to our rules and take a look at how our palatalization thing was worded. Palatalization spread. A previous palatalization. Okay. And I think I'm going to make a note that this palatalization spreads in only one direction. I'll never forget the first time I heard of One Direction. It was in a commercial with Drew Brees from the New Orleans Saints. And I was really confused by this commercial because they were comparing their fan bases like we were supposed to know who both were, and I never heard of One Direction. I'm like, who are these? And then like at the end they start singing. I'm like, okay, they're a band, but it's like, shouldn't this commercial come out when like everybody has heard of them? Never heard of them.
Yeah, you would think. I honestly, because they were out at around the same time as like Big Time Rush and all of them, right?
As what?
Big Time Rush.
Is that a band?
Yeah, never mind.
Holy smoke!
It was they ended up having their own show on like either Nickelodeon or Disney. I just know because Will used to watch it when he was young, and so like I knew them, and I'm pretty sure One Direction was around the same time. Just a second, was Big Time Rush? Did they have music at the same time as One Direction? Yeah. Okay, I got verification from the expert.
Okay. Okay, so we're from. I think this well, it definitely has to come here.
Oh, sorry. Yes, we are writing rules.
Voicing assimilation.
Yeah, Jonas Brothers. I would say that they're kind of like the Jonas Brothers because it's just a group of singers who.
Those are old, though, right? The Jonas Brothers are old.
Yeah, but aren't they about the same age as all the Big Time Rush and everything? Just because it was a while ago that One Direction came out. I feel like it's been a while since One Direction actually came out.
That's probably true. Okay, I need... What am I doing? Latin... I need Greek. There it is.
I stopped being surprised by people who, like, grow up seemingly quickly once the kids I used to babysit have their own families. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just old. Everybody has families. Cool.
The thing that always got to me was the retirement of sports players.
At the ripe old age of 26.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, players that, start as rookies, go through their entire career, and then retire, and it's like, wait a minute, but they were still young. Like, they started as a rookie well after I started paying attention to basketball. It's just, okay.
And Megan, Hanson brothers, I was totally on the same board as you. So I was going to mention them, and I'm like, no, they're even older than the Jonas brothers.
Shoot, I wrote this wrong. I wrote this wrong. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Will spread its voice feature to an adjacent consonant. Note that this. Hold on a sec. Minus nasal.
Right.
Have you ever written the word gnarl? Naral?
No.
I feel like it could be an alternate word for nasal. Like a
But the
fancy
keys
word
aren't
for
even
nasal.
like, if you said, have I ever written like nadal with a D or something, that would make sense. But why would you reach up for an R? Like, I'm staring at the keyboard wondering why you would.
No, I don't necessarily type it. I just always see it in my head. Like, I just call it.
Oh, in your head.
Yeah, I like call
Right.
it gnarl. You know?
I like it. Okay, so what we're saying is that
Gnarl.
nasal consonants do not cause a voicing shift on something that follows it.
Yeah, otherwise we're going to get gnan, and we don't want gnan, right? Oh, on something that follows it. On something that follows it. Oh, dear.
Right, because
Oh,
this
dear.
is the one before, so that would be like getting NK turning into
Yeah.
staying NK.
We didn't deal with that. Let's look at it and ask ourselves. Where? Here we go. Okay, so. And then.
So we really need, by the way, that rule just needs to have the C matches in voice. It needs to be C minus nasal matches in voice. That's where the minus nasal should be in the rule. And then we need to decide if nasal consonants cause things to become voice.
Okay. I'm going to do this quick.
Okay.
So, okay. Just need to take minus gnarl and put it. Wait. Okay. No, wait. Sorry. This wasn't as quick as I promised. Oh, no. Minus nasal. There we go.
Because now it says what we want it to say.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have to decide whether nasal consonants will cause voicing.
Yeah. And at the same time, we can also decide if they're going to assimilate in place.
Right. Okay. I mean, I don't know. What are you thinking?
I think I'm going to need a little help with this one. Little.
That would probably be
little
good.
Solid persuasion.
Yes. I need to check my stock, my stash. Oh, I think I got a little bit while longer before I need to order a bag.
Copico. The K is silent for joy.
Both K's or just one of them?
It's a mystery of the branding.
That's good stuff.
That's a hard candy Christmas right there.
Which, for any Dolly Parton fans, recently learned that the song Hard Candy Christmas was written for one of her movies. I thought it was just on her album.
Yeah. It's really weird because the movie it was written for was Soft Coffee Easter.
What are your thoughts
Well,
on whether voicing should spread when a nasal is first?
I'm going to tell you my initial thoughts. I don't like this.
No.
I don't like any of this. I don't. I don't like it at all.
So, Tanguy asks maybe we could have a copy vowel in these cases. So NKAN just becomes like ANKN, Ankan.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily need to be a copy vowel. It could just be an epenthetic vowel, so it's always the same vowel. But yes, I am 100% on board with that. I think that's what we should do. And so we can push the voicing question to a later step and say that first, what happens here is it's going to be our. My instinct was actually E, insan, inkan, infan.
Oh, that's interesting because my initial was that it would have been an epsilon, which of course would become an E anyway. So.
Not at the beginning of the word though. We didn't do that yet, did we?
Isn't it unstressed?
Yeah, but at the beginning of a word, that happens at the end of a word.
Yes, you're absolutely right, but I thought it was in all unstressed position, so
Ooh,
I may
Tanguy
be
loves
totally
the E.
wrong.
I think we should do it. Okay. You know what? I think we should do this because today is Tonghi's birthday. Happy birthday! Woo!
Oh, fun. Okay, so that's going to happen.
Yeah.
How do you know it's Tanguy's birthday?
I actually heard it on the stream.
I swear I've been keeping up and I haven't seen anything about a birthday.
No, it was in.
And Tanguy says, "Is it?"
It was in 203. Somebody said it live on the stream.
Well, it is now.
Okay. So, now we're here.
Tanguy was not aware of it being a birthday.
Well,
That's even better.
Look, I mean, sometimes you lose track of things. But,
It happens. We're all busy. There's a lot of stress right now in life. It's easy to forget.
Yeah, but it's 10:15. You know what that is. Oh my goodness, how do you say that? Oh my goodness, I have lost all the basic French that I have. So cinq is 5, right? And 10, is that how you say quinze is how you say 15 in French. And
Sure.
How you turn that into an ordinal is...
I don't know, but have you tried out the new translate feature on the iPhone update? Because it's actually pretty good. And so you should totally use it.
So, le 15, I don't know. Most of the time you just add at the end of a word in French, you get the right word.
I really don't know.
Okay.
Moving on with our rule. So we're going to add E in first.
Insan. Now I'm saying this like French. I'm sorry. Insan, incan, infan. Quinzième. That is the word that we're looking for. And now I don't remember the word for October. Octobre.
See, do what most English speakers do. Just say it with a French accent.
Yeah.
Okay, so Logan, Hard Candy Christmas, because I have recently actually looked into this to have an entire conversation about it with David. And the lyrics, in fact, do harken back to a time when families could only afford, like, the penny candies to give for Christmas gifts. There's more meaning to it for the movie it was written for, which was The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. But that is the like intended meaning of what a hard candy Christmas is.
Which one is the side of my head I don't like right now? Sorry, my hair is just not doing the thing. Anyway.
I don't know. Why was one side looking different to you?
Yeah, it was. Anyway, le 15 octobre.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
That's Estongi's birthday. So.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yes. The new birthday.
Yep.
You now have 2 birthdays if you thought another day was actually your birthday.
The big 2-7.
Are you making up ages now too?
I don't think I've ever made anything up. Did I just say maked? Anyway,
Just
okay.
like that mismatched.
So, all right, let's get serious.
Mm-hmm.
We have insan or insan, inkan or ingan or ingan or ingan or in.
And side note, Tangi, if you care, if you don't mind if people know your actual birthday, I will happily wish you a happy birthday on your actual birthday or close to it.
Not me.
On our live stream.
Not me. This is the only day. Oh, God.
Oh, I'm feeling the nasal location assimilation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That eliminates these. Wait.
Writing it down. It's actually really close to my dad's birthday. Good month to have a birthday.
In between 2 live streams, Logan, is your birthday only like a few minutes? Most of us have a full day. Sorry.
That is too funny.
Okay. And my birthday is, of course, January 20th, which is a very famous day in the United States every 4 years. Sometimes my birthday is not too fun. January 20th is January 20th is the day that the president is inaugurated.
So yes, some days. Sometimes. Sorry, I'm taking notes.
Yeah, so we do need to write in the nasal assimilation rule eventually. Yes, that needs to be put into our things. There we go, Raziel. Thank you.
It is famous for that.
Actually, you want to know what else January 20th is famous for? Somebody on Reddit went to the Ice Cube song, Today Was a Good Day. Very good song. And they figured out what the day was. And it happened to be January 20th on some particular year. I forget if it was 92 or 93. So that was a good day. Okay. So, what do you think? Incan? Ingan? Infan? Invan?
So...
Or, I'm going to throw some other things out here.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to let you throw some things out. So that way I don't get too attached to any.
It's just so many options.
Yeah, I'm not going to get attached to any. Is this going to be a poll maybe? Because like there are so many options that... And I feel like, honestly, like,
Mm-hmm.
I could be fine with any of them, which means it could be a poll because, you
Yeah.
know, we can no longer have polls where we're not fine with an option.
Nope. Okay.
And so if you also are fine with all options.
Yeah. We'll we'll save that for a poll. I'll give it a color so that remember to look at it next time. And yeah. Otherwise, those are good. But we will do nasal assimilation. Oh, darn it, I deleted it, of course, because maybe we have it in Angala. Do we have nasal assimilation in Angala?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Well, yeah, we have to because that's how we have the velar.
There it is. Nasal assimilation. Got it.
Can you say that again?
It's narral arimilation.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so it's got to be after, and this is crucial because this is kind of fun. It has to be after the loss of the vowels.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't, and we also had nasal consonant clusters, otherwise, you could have like like impossible versus unpopular, like we do in English. In other words, you could have N followed by P and M followed by P because the assimilation happens first before the loss of the vowels.
Right.
But we're not going to do that, so that is okay. Let's just let's just drop it right there. Nasal assimilation. All done. Okay. Nice one, Dark Horse. Oh, Dark Horse. Label what colors mean what? Are you suggesting we wouldn't remember?
You know what? That's probably because I kind of got lazy on my labels here. I was doing okay.
Yeah. Hold on, I got this one. Poll number 3. There we go. All right, let's jump ahead to Geminates. Or crazy stress stuff. What do you think, Jesse?
Let's do Geminates first, mainly because crazy stress stuff is going to have implications across the whole word.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do actually have a very nice solution here handed to us that we already did. First, we know that this is now going to become the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kitty's yawning.
I love cat yawns. Yeah, like W. Watson says, it seems like the stress system is it's gonna like maybe take a whole episode. Because I feel like that's a lot to unpack, and once we're ready to unpack it, I think we'll be ready to start thinking some initial roots and things like that.
So this is the solution that I want to recommend. Since we have this epenthetic consonant already, might as well use it. What do you think?
That was actually my thought before we had started talking about it. That was my thought, was let's just use the same insert vowel. Juniper, if you're asking about just keeping the initial Geminates, that's definitely something that could happen in, say, compounds or things like that, where the vowel wouldn't need to be inserted. We could talk about like having that happen after certain prefixes or compounds are formed, which means sometimes it wouldn't have that vowel inserted. And the Geminates are staying. It's really just a matter of making it so it's...
The only reason that I was in favor of, or that I immediately thought to insert the vowel is because we're inserting the vowel over here. And we want to insert the vowel here just because we don't want words beginning with prenasalized consonants. Not because it's hard, but because it didn't feel like the right sound. And it's just for that reason, I don't know, it seems more likely that the strategy would get used here with initial geminates as well. Even though initial geminates can be fun. And I appreciate that. But we are still, I think, going to get things like geminates coming after consonants. So, xan versus xan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But see, if we did that, we have to make sure we don't have that secondary stress up front. Otherwise, you wouldn't get that, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I think we need to have like one stress per word kind of thing.
So you're saying we should talk about this. We should do it right now. We're avoiding it.
Well, we are, but at the same time, I feel like the Geminates answer, we've got it right there. We both agree. Let's insert the same vowel. Cool.
Okay.
So now, so if we're going to get these crazy consonant clusters, I just think secondary stress is going to mess with it. That's all. But I didn't finish reading the whole dissertation, so that Veronica had so handily, supplied us with. And
Okay.
so I don't know how stress plays into that. But I feel like if we're going to keep stressed vowels and secondary stress counts as a stressed vowel, then we need to also maybe have a discussion of not having secondary stress.
It changes it from something like, kananas to kananas, 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 kananas. In other words, it changes it from an uppy-downy type of language to a brum type of language.
And that feels possum-y.
Okay. Okay. Have we used the word secondary stress anywhere in here? We haven't?
No. There is no secondary in this document.
Yeah. Okay. So... Well, I don't think anything that we've written... No, here we go. We don't have secondary, but we do have secondarily.
We're not secondarily stressed. Oh my gosh. I didn't even think of looking for that form. Okay.
I think we
how about just when not stressed?
Okay, but we need to revisit this rule then because...
Okay.
You ask if we want to do that, and I'll show you why. Go back. There it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but weren't we supposed to lean into the homophones?
Yes. So here's the issue, though. We do have one stress rule that says aside from the first syllable. Where is it? We found the vowels N become and respectively in unstressed position outside of the very first segment of the word before main stress. So in other words, they stay and at the beginning of a word outside of the very first segment of the word. Otherwise, they change to and And then we have this rule: the vowels disappear before the main stress when not stressed. There's honestly no reason. there's no reason for us to have written the rule that way. If we didn't intend for them to stay.
Okay, so then the question becomes, where did we intend them to stay? And I'm looking at all of our examples, and those are the only examples that we had typed out with multiple syllables.
Yeah.
Where the stress would have been on the first syllable, or secondary anyway. Oh, okay, where the red is, that's why. If you scroll down to the next page from where you are right now, I think, and I have it highlighted, we have effective stress on vowel deletion.
Yeah.
That's...
Let me, I remember that. I'm going to go to it. If I scroll down. Yeah, so I deleted this, right, because the one that was in red, because initially what was written here when we started this episode was this. Hands on home keys, sorry. We had this written, which didn't reflect the opossum to possum change.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were saying we wanted to keep it.
No, I think that one, really the question was in the top line, because we kept the but we deleted the schwa in between the K and N because it was unstressed. And the only reason this one stayed, I think, was secondary stress.
Yes. But this one, I mean, this is exactly how it was written when we dialed it up. And we put it in red, I think for a specific purpose.
There's no reason for it to be kept anyway, because that's right before stressed.
The only reason to keep it would be if it was at the beginning of a word.
And it's not after a consonant.
No.
So it would be deleted if there were a consonant in front of it.
Yes.
So if all of these had an S in front of it, all of the schwas would disappear before the K.
That's correct.
Okay. I would be on board with that if we write the rule so that the initial vowel with no consonant in front of it stays. But if there's a consonant in front of it, it disappears.
Okay. I think that we have that somehow written out, but we need to formalize it. Now let's go back to this right here. Obviously, if it has one of the cardinal vowels, it stays. Otherwise, all of these words come out sounding like non.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you put a K in front of them, they're all going to sound the same.
Yes, except that these two will palatalize. So it'll go from a four-way distinction to a two-way distinction.
A two-way. Okay.
And
I mean, the vowels are going to merge anyway, so we would end up with what, a two-way distinction anyway? If we kept the vowels?
No. If we kept the vowels... Shit. What does happen? And become respectively an unstressed position outside of the very first segment of the word.
And this is the first segment. Okay.
Yeah. So no, it would still be a four-way distinction. We haven't done anything to any of these vowels in this position.
You're not going to let those vowels stay in that position, are you? Are you going to keep a schwa? But no. Only in initial position?
Like at the end of the road? No, absolutely not.
Okay, so it won't be a four-way distinction when we're done.
I mean, it could be, but they could all go to different things. So it's like the rules that we have as they are written, yeah, all of those are going to come out the same because the first rule doesn't apply. Stays a four-way distinction until that rule that basically just eliminates all unstressed weak vowels. Uh,
But all of these would be considered weak, right?
Yeah, they're all considered weak.
And so if we did that, then it would still just be none.
Yes. I am... I am...
I feel you're in pain.
Yeah. I'm thinking about expanding the rule, expanding the polarization rule.
Okay. How would you expand it?
Putting a comma.
Respectively.
I mean, let me show you. You're gonna hate it. I just know you are. I'm jumping to the sound change rules.
And I'm leaving this part of my screen up so I can keep staring at the non-examples.
Okay.
So that way in my head I can figure out what you're doing.
Word final vowel polarization. You ready?
It would just be called polarization.
Yes. But you see what I did?
Not yet, but like, is that would what you would need though, right? Wait, did you put a comma?
Yes.
You just added a comma there.
Yes, I did.
You said you were just going to add a comma.
Yes.
And you did.
Yes.
You did.
And so what that does, it means that those two vowels will raise when they're either at the beginning of the word or at the end of the word.
Question.
I'm so glad Bibleridian isn't here to see this.
Why would that be what that addition of a comma means? Shouldn't it be space, pound, comma, pound, space? Because you need to show that the pound, for initial, it needs to have a pound before it.
That's what the comma does. The comma.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. The comma
No, it
says
doesn't.
either. Are you seriously not familiar with this formalization?
That it just flip-flops everything? No.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, Bib is here. Bibleridian, I mean, sure, tell me I'm wrong, but is David off his comma
here.
rocker?
He is here. Oh, he saw it. Oh, I'm never going to live this down. But no, that's absolutely what the comma formalization means.
Just go ahead and type IFF.
Okay.
Because I've never seen that. I've seen a straight up and down bar meaning this choice or that choice. I've seen the squiggly brackets to mean one of these sets. But like I've never seen just a comma to mean, hey, just flip-flop these. Thank you, Razia. Like that's what I was thinking it would be. I've never...
It's short for that.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Then why don't you just put pound, comma, pound? Oh my gosh.
I'm going to change this to polar vowel polarization. But I'm telling you, this is seriously what this means. What this means is either this or this. That's what the comma means.
I will never remember that, so just have it typed out well.
It's and this is why you do it. This is why you do it. It's for imagine a palatalization rule where something is palatalized either before or after the consonant or the vowel E. That's why you have it.
Oh, I really just don't like that. but okay. Uh, thank you, Jasmine. It does look like a typo.
Well, it does look like a typo, just like IFF and worder. They look like typos.
Just change up the wording underneath it so that way I can understand what this little comma means. Only if worder. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and definitely delete that because we will get confused later. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm totally on board, by the way, with the sound change itself. Like, I'm totally on board by saying it's now no longer vowel final polarization.
Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't lose you.
It's hangy outy open syllable polarization at the beginning and end of words. The only thing I wasn't on board with was the comma.
And you see the way that this works is it makes it like a smile.
Sure.
See? It's high at the beginning and high at the end.
Oh, okay, the word. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the comma between. I was like, where are you getting the smile?
No. Ooh, now I want a brand called Polar Root Beer. Sorry, just looking at a comment. Okay.
And Jasmine, really real. Like, is the hyphen supposed to be there? I need to know more about really real and why there's a hyphen and why we need to distinguish it from just real.
Hey, I once read a book about a book where the introduction said before we get into a discussion of the work in question, we need to talk about the definition of book.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's English for you. Okay.
I also feel like it's setting up for a major bash down.
Yeah.
And this does not fit that definition. Okay, Jasmine says it's with the hyphen every time. Real hyphen Lee, real.
It's a term. You gotta do it. Okay.
Oh, if you YouTube it, it just pulls up Prince Royce's song, Really Real. That's unfortunate. Not YouTube it, Google it. I don't know what I...
Now let me see how our rules are ordered. Polar vowel polarization, oh my goodness, it's 12. So it's not going to, this rule is not going to work because the vowels will have already been deleted at 6. And I believe that this rule still has to happen later. I am really having a problem with this rule.
Yeah, because it can't be stressed if it's not initial. It can't be lost if it's the initial one.
Unstressed. Okay. Vowels and become and respectively in unstressed position outside of the very first segment of the word. And here, vowels and disappear before the main stress when not stressed. Why didn't that target I mean, these two vowels shouldn't occur at all unless they were in word initial position based on how this rule is written. You see what I'm saying? Like, so this, it's weird. We wrote the first rule specifically to leave out initial vowels.
Right.
But then this rule, as it's written, would only target initial vowels.
No, I mean, it would target anything between like a K, like it would target all the like knan, and so becoming knan.
For this one, yes. But
right.
But not these. These two vowels would never occur outside of the first syllable of the word. This is a really confusing rule.
Now I just keep scrolling back and forth, staring at the two rules. Why? Why did we do that?
I think we need to delete this. I think we just need to delete this rule. And
the loss of the weak vowels?
Yeah, and just see what happens. Loss of weak vowels 1.
Right.
It's
Do you
gone.
want to like fully delete it, or
Yes.
do you want to like
Yes.
cut it and then
No.
paste it somewhere to be like,
Nope.
no, just
Gone.
delete?
Look, if we want to get it, it's on the old PDF. We can grab it from there because you can copy from a
Very
PDF
true.
when you're just making it from pages and stuff like that. But
Why would? Oh, you already took out the 2. Gotcha. I was like, why? Why was it a 1 if there's no 2? But you already did that.
okay.
I think the ice cream truck got like a new thingy because it sounds much more snappy today outside.
Playing Ice Cream Man by Van Halen.
Oh, but oh my gosh, this is the first time I'm actually seeing the truck.
Oh, we've lost Jesse.
Oh, that is so exciting. It's red. Oh, I kind of want to go chase it down, not because I want ice cream, but I just want to like chase down an ice cream truck.
Okay. All right, we're gonna just.
I'm ready. Sorry, I'm back.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna very briefly just spell things out here.
W. Watson said it was because the E was deleted in another rule. Oh, Jonathan, that sounds like a bad day for that ice cream truck to be out in the rain at 7 p.m. I gotta say, though, I don't know where you live, but in October right now is still warm enough for ice cream.
Okay, yeah, same here. 90s all week here. Okay, so the way that I believe that our rules are written, this is our output at present. So we have inan and unan, but then we still have these central vowels. I think. I don't think there's anything that deletes those central vowels in that position.
And this is, again, this is initial syllable, no stress, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, went too far.
Okay, and you took out. Goodness gracious, I have the hiccups now.
This one's still
You had
fine.
changed the epsilon to the U, right?
That one's still fine because it's only talking about the first syllable of the word.
Outside.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, before the main stress. Okay.
Okay, we don't need that one.
Palatalization. Assimilation.
That one's consonants.
Yeah. Quality. Word final to voicing. Yeah. Word final palatalization. Well, yeah. This is the next rule. And then word final schwa. Lots of weak vowels. Loss of weak vowels.
It just all happens right there, essentially.
I think I'm adding another comma. Boop.
I was reading Alk's comment. What's going
I
on?
just added another comma.
Oh my gosh, you did.
And I'm also going to change this from minus low, minus high to minus front, minus back. It's not just word final schwa is dead.
Well, then change it to
vowels
loss of central vowels instead of loss of weak vowels.
Annihilated.
Okay, so Alk was after. Oh, bye, Alona. Stay healthy to yourself too.
Yeah.
Alk says without weak vowel loss, Kanan doesn't become Kanan, does it?
Oh.
So Kanan does not become Kanan.
It doesn't. Sorry about that. Okay.
So that's why we needed a rule.
Yeah, but it needs to be rewritten. It needs to be rewritten because it didn't.
Yes.
It didn't make any sense. So let's put it back. Very sorry. Weak vowel loss. It's only targeting central vowels, so we're gonna have the same environment here. Weak vowel loss, and it's going to be in between consonants.
Yes. And
Yes.
unstressed.
Thank you. Central vowels
Good.
are lost in between consonants before.
And actually, as
stress
David is
word.
typing this up, I
There we go.
just looked up at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start the wrapping up because we do need to head out today. But thank you for
Yes.
everyone being here and participating. It's been a great day.
Yes.
And
this
I'm
is
excited
really
to see
coming
where some of
along.
this stress kind of stuff goes next time.
Hooray!
Yay! So we will see you in a week. Stay grammar, stay healthy, and may you find an ice cream truck.
Frequicative.
Exactly. Freak wicked.